The planning scheme includes maps showing how land has been zoned. Different zones allow land to be used in different ways. Zones outline if the proposed use or development requires a permit, or if a use is prohibited. Land can also have overlays applied to them. Overlays are additional controls which achieve desired development outcomes. So, when the missus and I first saw this old tree, we couldn't believe our luck. We saw it needed some work, but we knew we had to have it. I mean, I've worked on cars before and they turned out beautiful. So we went to convert it into a hotel with live music so everyone can dance in the forest and they all get to enjoy it. Imagine that. I've already drawn up the plans. We're going to bring this old bag of sticks to life. Excited by his new plans for his old tree, Daryl the developer went to get planning permission from his local council.
Look at this, Daryl. Your tree is located in a mixed-use zone. If you want to use your old tree as a hotel, the planning scheme says you'll need to get a permit first.
Oh, no worries, Peter. Get me one of them permits and I can get to work straight away.
Oh, but wait, not so fast, Daryl. The works cannot commence until you have a permit.
So what do I have to do to get one of these permits?
Look, don't worry. All you need to do is lodge your application for a planning permit with your plans to council and we'll assess the proposal against the provisions of the planning scheme. It is likely that your proposal will be advertised to your neighbours and any persons we deem detrimentally affected.
So if the neighbours object, does that put an end to the whole project?
Look, not necessarily. It depends on what the objections are. Sometimes the planning scheme says we have to refer the applications to another authority, like the CFA or the local water authority. They can object and then that's the end of it.
But the neighbours were not so keen on Daryl the developer's grand idea. 14 days have passed since the council advertised Daryl's application. Many objections were received against the proposal. One of these objections was submitted to council from a neighbour named Oscar.
Oh, don't get me wrong, I'm not against change, but this is too big. It's too close to my house and it will be ugly. It will be noisy, people will urinate in public, and all those forest folk will come and park across front of my barrow. The whole thing stinks if you ask me. No one is happy with this. Look at my neighbours.
So Peter, I understand there were lots of objections.
Yeah, a few. The problem is most of them objected because they don't like the idea or they don't want it near their place. And that's not really reason enough to refuse permission. There were some folk that raised legitimate concerns though, about, the usual stuff, noise, parking, amenity issues. So we'll just have to have a look into that, I guess.
A council has an obligation to make a decision on an application within a specified time frame. The council will make a decision to either A. Grant a permit with conditions or B. Refuse a permit. So the council have finally granted me a permit, but they've listed this whole bunch of conditions. It's worse than the missus, They say I can't make the tree any bigger than it already is. I can't change the way it looks on the outside. I can't even change the colour. And when it's finished, I can't even stay open past 11 o'clock. If I have to comply with all these conditions, I won't make a cent. I thought this was a free country.
Did you hear? They granted that neighbour of mine a permit to build his hotel. I objected. We all objected. But do you think the council listened to our concerns? Apparently not. We'll be appealing this stupid decision. We'll represent ourselves at the VCAT to explain to VCAT how we are all adversely affected by this hotel going ahead.
VCAT hearings are a process of review. When reviewing the decision of a council to grant a new permit, VCAT's role is to reconsider the whole application afresh on its merits. The tribunal has all the powers of the decision maker in relation to the matter. The tribunal's discretion is more limited where it is deciding to amend an existing permit or an application for review against conditions. In this case, as Oscar and the others are appealing the council's decision to grant the permit and Daryl is appealing against the conditions, two separate appeals, the matters will be considered together by VCAT. So we've just got back from VCAT and I got my permission, didn't I? But I'm still stuck with the same conditions. I thought VCAT was a way of getting my conditions changed, but they confirmed the council's decisions were appropriate. A few of my neighbours showed up too. They were objecting the council's decision to issue the permit. VCAT agreed with council's decision that it was an appropriate development for the area. And my friends at the planning department are invited for a drink. Only like a cheap one.
Womp bam loo mop lop bam bam to the fruit, oh root, to the fruit, woo, to the fruit, oh root, to the fruit, oh root, to the fruit, oh root. Womp bam loo mop lop bam bam, got a gal named Sue. She knows just what.
So, are you having a great night, guys? Yay! Well, I hate to break it to you, it's 11 o'clock, time to pack up.
No!
Hey, I don't make the rules around here.
He does! Get him!